Number 5, I believe that the NFL and its media affiliates conspired against Russell Wilson to change the narrative about him so that he was not a superstar in the NFL right away. I believe this was the case based on tons of anecdotal data that happened from 2012 even to current day. But in order to fully understand why I feel this way, we need to backtrack and go into history. Since the beginning of American football, the quarterback position has been run by a white man, usually a tall white quarterback. They are the face of the team. They run the show. And when black players at all levels would play quarterback, they would eventually be transitioned to more athletic skill positions like a receiver, a running back, cornerback, safety, linebacker. Why? Well, because they're more athletic. And on average, statistically, they are. But that was a facade. It was a facade for the real reason, which is that coaches, general managers, owners, people who ran football, they were saying quarterback is the face of the team, and the quarterback needs to have the intelligence to read a defense, lead the huddle, make quick decisions. And we need a white man to do that. A black man is not as intelligent. That's just a cold, hard reality of how it went from the top down. Look at Warren Moon. Warren Moon had to go to the Canadian Football League for a few years and dominate there before they let him in the NFL in the late 80s. Doug Williams won a Super Bowl in the early 80s, and that was a big deal. Mid-80s. And you can't convince me that there couldn't have been more black quarterbacks in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. They were transitioned to other athletic positions. Now, both could be true at once. Like, yeah, they could have moved people over because, yeah, they were just better athletes. But it doesn't explain the lack of black quarterbacks in the league over that time period. So you have this history, and you have black quarterbacks starting to come into the league. Now, what do they have in common? Randall Cunningham, Donovan McNabb, Dante Culpepper, Colin Kaepernick, Cam Newton, Michael Vick. They all could play from the pocket to some degree. But when shit hit the fan, they ran. They used their athleticism to get out of trouble. So the people that run things, that created this environment for quarterbacks, they were saying, well, yeah, we can have black quarterbacks, but they're going to be athletic type. Now Russell Wilson comes along. He's 5'10" and black. 5'11". Now, he comes in and lights up the league. Numerically speaking. It's on the video. It's all there. Do you think that they're going to go back on everything they've ever said? Because he's 5'11". Yeah, he's athletic, but he was making plays in the pocket. So do you think they're going to do, hey, you know what? What we've said the last 6 decades, yeah, that was wrong. We always said a tall white man. Hey, short white men had a problem too. Doug Flutie was great, and he even got marginalized. Now, he was a little bit shorter, but it applied to everybody. But you had 2 factors. You had the race and you had the height. If Russell Wilson was marketed as a superstar, he just blows all that up right away. Because in order to dominate at that height, you needed to be cerebral and smart and intelligent. And Russell was. Now, could he command the offense and read the defense like prime Peyton Manning or Tom Brady in his rookie year? No. But could he move like them? Could he move way better than them? Could he make throws that they even couldn't make? Yeah. based on his athleticism, based on his baseball background. So you have these factors at play. But it's deeper than that. Because in 2012, who entered the draft with him? Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck was going to be one of the new faces of the NFL. Fits the bill perfectly. Tall white man from Stanford. Tough as nails. Great quarterback. Seemed like a great dude. So nothing against him. But in 2012, Brady hadn't won in a while. He was still one of the faces of the league. Peyton Manning was, kind of on his way out, even though he was, on a dominant run. I think he had about 4 MVPs in about 8 years at that point. He had neck surgery. Andrew Luck comes in to replace him. So he's one of the faces of the league now. And Luck was excellent, but Wilson was better. All the stats, all the numbers showed that. But Andrew Luck was being talked up as a top 5 quarterback, top 10 quarterback. And he basically won like one playoff game in a couple of years. Russell Wilson won a Super Bowl in his second year. Russell Wilson had 2,712 yards, 24 touchdowns, 4 picks in his last 10 games of 2012. Those are top 5 quarterback numbers. He had the arm, and he had the leadership, and he had just the results. And when think about this, you can argue Dan Marino's better than Joe Montana, but you're not going to win. You're not going to have the better court case because Montana won 4 Super Bowls and Marino didn't. The man who didn't win has to have the overwhelming evidence against the guy who did win. But the media narrative was flipped on this. Russell Wilson wasn't considered as good as Andrew Luck, even though he put up those numbers in 2012. And then in 2013, he played amazingly for the first 12, 13 games. And then he had some tough NFC West games. And Pete Carroll loves to run the ball and grind out games. So Russell Wilson was marginalized and nationally, and Andrew Luck was the better quarterback. Even though Russell Wilson won the Super Bowl and made it back to the next one the next year, Andrew Luck was still better. Completely reversed of how we've always looked at the game. The person who didn't win has to have the better numbers. Luck had better volume numbers, but he didn't have better numbers. He did not. He did not have the better video. He did not. But with all the information we have out there, you could just pick and choose what you want to focus on. And yeah, then you just conveniently ignore Luck's interceptions and focus on Russell Wilson's sacks. Yeah, sure. And his Pete Carroll not letting him throw the ball. Yeah, then sure, you can argue Luck is better, but it's not a good case. Especially when Russell's winning playoff games and throwing, perfect 50-yard dimes in the 2013 and 2014 seasons to bring his team to the Super Bowl. 2 game-winning touchdown passes in back-to-back years in the NFC Championship game. So, bottom line, I know I'm ranting here, but obviously I've thought about this for many years. There was a conspiracy, in my humble opinion, and it was because of the history of the game. They got away with it because of Russell's athleticism. So he was a great pocket passer and all the numbers supported that, but he was so easily able to go get 15, 20-yard chunks that he just went and did it. Or he'd go and run to throw. He just went and did it. And the league hadn't seen that yet. They give Mahomes all the credit for making these crazy off-kilter throws. Russell did it too. And he was so unbelievably accurate when he was getting hit and when he was on a move that it was like, that was his luck. That was fluky. They'd never seen that before. Maybe Fran Tarkenton. But throwing at the angles he was doing, they hadn't seen that before. So they use his athleticism as a loophole. Oh, you want to know another loophole? Pete Carroll and the Legion of Boom. It just so happened that he had a coach that loved to run the ball and go deep now and then, and Russell had a great deep ball, but he liked to run the ball, control the clock, and win games with defense. And that's ultimately why they're not together anymore, because Pete Carroll couldn't adapt the way Bill Belichick would have and said, hey, I'm going to put the ball in my best player's hands. By the way, you should hear Bill Belichick talk about Russell Wilson. It's not gamesmanship. You should just hear him talk about him. Maybe go research that one day. And again, the Andrew Luck thing. So they had the perfect loopholes with the athleticism and Pete Carroll, but then Andrew Luck was their star. That was their next man up. That's the way the marketing machine works. Money. Money makes the world go round. We know that.